could go wrong by deputizing, like a Chicago police force or a New York police force or, an Arizona? What could go wrong? Let me tell you what's in this report, okay? The Justice Department suggested that most of the city's 12,000 officers wanted to do better, but it chronicled so many abuses that it was a black eye with a long, long history, and it included torturing suspects. It also included dozens of wrongful convictions. Now, when I look at these memos, I see they're also going to do a press effort, okay? They're going to use the media. They want the media to report this great success of all these criminals going out. They want the media to feature every single person that they deport. They want it on the TV to gin up, hatred against, immigrants in this country. That is so sick, but that is what they want. So wrongfully convicted people, which is documented as happening frequently, and torturing people happening frequently in Chicago, what could go wrong by putting them in charge of immigration? And of course, besides for addressing the police shootings, besides for the torture, besides for the stories of police picking up a kid and driving them into a rival neighborhood and saying, I'm going to tell this gang member over here that you live over there and they'll shoot you, they'll kill you if you don't turn evidence, if you don't say that you saw this guy we want to convict doing this or that. We'll just drop you off in a hostile. I mean, it's unbelievable. But besides for that, it dealt with other police issues, such as how officers target minorities for enforcement and treat them badly and unconstitutionally manhandle even children and holding them. And then somehow they have a gun, but they didn't have a gun when they first took them. But they hold them for a while, and then all of a sudden, look what we found. One of the key findings echoed a contention Black and Hispanic Chicagoans have made for decades that police unfairly target the minorities. The report said investigators had serious concerns about the prevalence of racially discriminatory conduct by some Chicago Police Department officers. It said that the Chicago Police Department has used force almost 10 times more often against blacks and Latinos than against whites. And at the academy where they were trained, they went and they looked at some of the training videos that were made 30 years ago. And they said, these are inconsistent with current policies. These are inconsistent with your own policies. How are you training these officers in use of force or profiling or anything with these 30-year-old videos that don't comply with your... So Rahm Emanuel, who obviously sat on that Laquan McDonald video for a year, so, no, there is no safety here. It's not like, a Democrat won't do it. He did it. He sat on that video for you. He had to sign an agreement with the Department of Justice. He actually had to surrender himself. I don't know why they didn't remove him from office, but they didn't. But the report said that while Emanuel had widely expanded the department's stock of tasers, too many officers have been run through training programs too quickly without proper curriculum, staff, or equipment. As a result, according to the report, officers are uncomfortable with how to use tasers effectively as a less lethal force option that the skills training was supposed to teach, and therefore they're putting themselves in jeopardy because they only use lethal force. They're scared to use the taser. They don't know what to do with it because they weren't trained. And Rahm had to sign an agreement to formal court supervision. Rahm Emanuel is under formal court supervision until the Justice Department, which now won't follow through because it's now Jeff Sessions, a racist. But he had to sign an agreement that he would work with federal officials and supervise the reforms that the Justice Department insisted he implement. And now that bet's off. So what could go wrong in a city like Chicago? Let me tell you some of the statistics in this country. 79% of all Americans. Now, this is like the gun argument, okay? Remember when 98% of America believed in background checks? And we still couldn't get a freaking bill out of the Senate, still couldn't get the Republicans to do a simple background check at a gun show or online in order to purchase a freaking AK-47 after these mass shootings? They wouldn't do it. 98% of us wanted it done. Okay, 80% of America believes in a path to citizenship. 80%. Only 16% are behind this deportation. Now that ought to scare the bejesus out of you. Because when 98% of us wanted a simple background check for somebody to buy a gun at a freaking gun show, the Senate wouldn't act. They're not going to act now either. You know, it's so funny, but they were asking John McCain over the weekend if he thought that the Republican Congress could hold Trump accountable for his enrichment of himself with these foreign deals that he's got, as he's still CEO of the Trump organization. And he said, well, I don't know. And then they asked him, you know, whether or not he would really look, you know, the Republicans would really look into this Russia connection. Would they really look into the hacking? And would they really? And he said, I hope so. And I believe so. But I hope more than I believe. Now, that is a sad, sad thing to say.